Rebel against defeat. Men first. Masculinity. Chase excellence. I grew up in the 70s and 80s. My parents are still married, 50 years. I got married in 1969. My dad was a tough dad. Beat the crap out of us. He was tough love. I mean, he didn't abuse us. He was tough, man. We got out of line, and we paid the price. Dad was reserved. Didn't talk a lot. Very quiet. But he was a dad. He was a dad. He was not my friend. He was my dad. He was my father, and I was scared of him. And I think I think kids should be scared of their fathers in that regards. Not in the fact that they're going to get their ass kicked and potentially die, but be scared if they get out of line, then they're going to have to face the consequences. Now we live in a world where if you spank a kid, you're going to jail. If you tell that kid that you're unhappy with him in his grades and his attitude and his behavior, I mean, they can call child welfare services and they can be out there saying that you're abusive. That's child abuse. What feminism has done to the modern family and the discipline of fathers to children. I mean, anything that you do now, that if my dad was in today's society raising his kids, he'd be in jail. He'd probably be in jail for 20 years. That's the world we live in. You can't tell your son or daughter, well, you can, and it depends if you have a wife that supports that, but very few wives support their husbands. We know that, right? A wife, if you could have a PhD in home construction, and if the sink breaks, your wife will call her sister or her brother-in-law before she talks to you. They just don't respect their husbands. And it's because we married them, and the carrot, there's no more chasing the carrot. But anyhow, my dad was tough. He raised us boys, and we're all successful. And we all sought to find women that were similar to our mothers, which were housewives, made dinner, did not work outside the home, raised her kids, took care of my dad. They didn't have a perfect marriage. No one does. But they instilled a dynamic, a foundation that I sought to go after. Well, guess what? I've realized that happy family doesn't exist anymore. Or it's very rare that exists. We live in a world where feminism has lied and destroyed society. It's destroyed every facet of society: education, government, religion, intersexual dynamics, dating. It is just, it's a joke. So if you've got boys and daughters and you're raising them, raise them through that red pill angle. Raise them to the point, and with my boys now, he's 14, youngest, 14, 15, and he's interested in girls. Good for him. He's masculine. He's just got testosterone flowing, but he's learning red pill. Not that, hey, women, we love women. Women are beautiful. We do not like feminism. We do not like the Hillarys. We do not like the Elizabeth Warrens. We do not like women that think they are greater and better and equal to men. We don't subscribe to that thought. We do not subscribe to men that worship women. We do not talk about that. We act masculine. And that is what I'm trying to instill in my boys. You do not act like a girl if you like a girl. You act like a man. You tell her, you call her on the carpet, you let her know. Okay? Hopefully, the upbringing my father gave to me, that I'm giving to my boys, even though I have them half the time, is going to pay off. And they're going to realize that, boys need dads. They do not need friends. And most of the dads today, they've been emasculated by their wives because guess what? Oprah told them that the man shouldn't raise the voice. The man shouldn't tell the kids that they are out of line. The man should get single file behind the wife and let the wife take care of it. Well, guess what? When I grew up, if I got out of line, actually, if I wanted to do something, you know what my mother would say? Go ask your dad. If he says, okay, I'm cool with that. Talk about unified front. Didn't happen in my marriage. I was constantly fighting just to have obedient kids. And at the same time, I'd ask my dad, hey, Dad, I want to go spend the night at Johnny's house. Go ask your mother. If she's fine with that, I'm cool. So there was a respect between those two, but they were unified. And that's the key. Now today it's different. It's got there's so many factors involved. I just cannot see a green light. I just cannot see a light at the end of the tunnel with relationships and building families. And the dream that I had, I mean, it's destroyed. Half of my siblings are divorced. So raise those kids the best that you can. Spread this knowledge. We have we now have a shit ton of data the last 40 years of what has happened to the modern family. You know, when I grew up, we played Smear the Queer, right? You even say Smear the Queer now, you're getting thrown in jail, right? But we're coming back. We're going to be stronger than ever. This movement, this message is getting around. If you guys have things to say, get it out there. Spread this knowledge. Red pill awareness saves lives. It improves people. I'm getting better every day, and yeah, that's just kind of what I wanted to talk about today. Chase excellence, rebel against defeat.